The Iranian leadership asked Hungary yesterday to announce the attack on Israel. And of course, these are very, very bad news. But it is also a maximum humiliation for Ursula von der Leyen, because apparently Hungary and Viktor Orban are seen as significantly more important figures than the EU chief herself. And the message from Iran that Hungary is supposed to convey is quite significant. Take a look at this development it takes. Get started. The European Union recently re-elected Ursula von der Leyen as the most powerful person in the EU, and one would actually think that this indeed makes her the #1 point of contact for all matters in the EU. Undoubtedly, especially now in a world that is indeed standing right on the edge of the abyss and a major war is on the verge of breaking out. But no, Ursula von der Leyen remains indeed the biggest laughingstock, and the Middle East is now absolutely making her feel it completely. The Middle East has an extremely crucial and highly significant message to convey. This important message to the European Union, but this message is not addressed to the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen, but to the only remaining trustworthy state in the EU, namely Hungary. The Epoch Times reports that an attack on Israel could begin in 24 hours. Iran sends message through Hungary. The Iranian leadership has asked Hungary to announce an attack on Israel. US sources predict that an attack on Israel could potentially occur within 24 hours. Iran has hinted at an attack on Israel. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Sirachow received this message on Monday, August 5th, from the acting Iranian Foreign Minister Ali Bagheri. Foreign Minister Israel Katz in Jerusalem was informed that Iran intends to attack Israel. According to the Israeli Jerusalem Post, Hungary currently holds the rotating EU Council presidency. There are no direct diplomatic relations between Israel and Iran. Wow! So, not only is the message itself incredibly explosive, but also the manner in which this message was delivered. Just imagine that Iran makes a major declaration about its attack and delivers this announcement neither to the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen, nor to the USA, nor to Germany or any other powerful country in the West. No, they convey this message through Hungary in the West. And this is now indeed an additional affront to the entire EU and its truly corrupt leaders, entirely and utterly, because Hungary, due to Viktor Orban's peace trip, is indeed precisely the country that has fallen out of favor with the EU and is now currently being sanctioned by the EU. But precisely because of this peace mission by Viktor Orban, Hungary is now seen as the most important foreign policy mouthpiece of the EU and is really the only one trusted with such important messages or diplomacy. And one must say, indeed, what a huge slap in the face to all the other EU states, who were already absolutely furious with Hungary. Apparently, Hungary has indeed become such a powerful ally that it is now respected by the entire Middle East and beyond. And of course, one could say, okay, why does it matter if Hungary is important to Iran? Why would anyone be interested in this news? Iran is not an important country with which one would want to have any significant ties. Well, anyone who thinks like that simply underestimates the seriousness of the situation. Because first of all, Iran is exactly the country that could unleash hell on earth, with a major counterattack. And secondly, Iran has been a member of the influential BRICS alliance since this year. So Iran definitely needs to be taken seriously. Whether one finds that good or not is another matter. But let's get back to the message that was conveyed. The newspaper writes that, according to the report by Walla, an Israeli official says that the Iranian foreign minister called him and clearly and unequivocally informed him that Iran has decided to attack Israel. As an Islamic republic, Iran considers it its undeniable right to defend national security, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, emphasized the spokesperson for the foreign ministry in Tehran, Nasser Kanani, on Monday during a weekly press conference. And that, my dear viewers, is an absolutely extremely important point where all Western politicians are currently failing. Because both at the German press conference and this week at the American press conference, journalists in fact asked exactly this question. Does Iran also have a right to defend itself? Indeed, this is a question that has been asked repeatedly, actually. And the response, especially from our federal government, has shown utterly complete incompetence and double standards. Because the answer was not a clear yes, like with Israel, but rather a bunch of stuttering and searching for, excuses. The German government doesn't dare to say that the same rights apply to everyone. Every country has a right to self-defense, and it doesn't matter at all. Whether you approve of Iran or not, that's just how it is in international law. And that's exactly why our federal government is making a complete fool of itself once again. Because all the attacks by Israel on Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and even Iran are always downplayed by the German government with the excuse that Israel is allowed to do this, as they have the right to self-defense. And indeed, they were attacked first. But when it comes to Iran, this right is denied, citing historical reasons. And we have to be honest about this. Nobody really knows anymore who started it first, who retaliated first, and so on. Historically, both countries and both regions have a lot of dirt on their hands. And because our federal government once again shows with this statement what a bunch of clowns they are and what a ridiculous group they are laughed at by the whole world and not taken seriously anymore. They are laughed at by China, by India, by Africa. Everywhere Baerbock, Habeck, and Scholz appear, they are humiliated. And now, with this latest recent incident, this message transmission through Hungary, it shows again that even the Middle East neither considers the German Chancellor trustworthy, nor the German EU chief von der Leyen. Germany is just the great moral world champion, but otherwise has nothing to say in the world. True to the motto, keep quiet and pay. And I really hope that Germany will one day return to its former glory and that we will be respected in the world again. But for the current moment, at this very moment, I wholeheartedly and sincerely hope that this cycle of violence in the Middle East can somehow be stopped and everyone can disarm. Because Israel has also announced that they will definitely respond with a counterstrike if Iran makes a counterstrike now, and the USA has also announced that they will certainly intervene in this war as well. In 2001, Iran was supposed to attack Israel, so the final stage of escalation is already prepared. All the warships, for example, those of the Americans, are already in position and are just waiting for someone to light the fuse. And I really hope, for all our sakes, that we can somehow still avert this and that we will eventually achieve peace in this region